Have you ever wanted to create your own Wager Talk Dream Team? We're excited to announce you can build your own superstar handicapping lineup using our Pick Your Team program at WagerTalk.com. Even more exciting, for a limited time, you can save up to 55% on your favorite 2 or 3 handicappers and pay as little as $1.99 for a full month of picks. Dave Koken, Marco D'Angelo, Yanni the Greek, Ralph Michaels, Teddy Covers, Hakeem Prophet, Tony Finn, Rob Vino, Brian Leonard. The combinations are endless. Who will make your dream team lineup? Just go to WagerTalk.com, click Pick Your Team, and personally hand-select your handicapping roster. Our Dream Team promotion is only being offered for a little limited time before going back to regular price, so please make sure to take advantage of this incredible offer.
All right, people, it is Friday. Let's get to it. It is another edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show powered by WagerTalk.com. I'm Joe Ranieri, loaded here in the NBA tonight. A couple of interesting line moves, too, that we're going to talk about. In fact, 4 games is what we're going to break down for you here. We're going to talk Nets, Cavs. We're going to talk Spurs taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Those New York Knicks, like a bad rash, you can't get rid of them. They are here. Taking on the Sacramento Kings tonight. We're going to break them down. And the Miami Heat still in Tampa, taking on the Toronto Raptors. We'll break all of these games down. Plus, we'll have a couple of best bets for you. Let's meet the fellas here, the guys, the panel, the dudes who are going to make you some money here tonight. Starting at the top. Look at that. Teddy getting in right at the top there. Teddy covers sportsmemo.com. Ski Profit representing with the purple here tonight. Guess where that's going? And, of course, Steve Merrill got a haircut. Looks about 20 years younger, and he wasn't in the middle. Very nice, by the way. Very, very nice. Loaded here tonight, guys, in the NBA. Going to be a lot of cards. Just 3 games last night, and a couple of very, very big winners. And, Teddy, let me start with you. 5% play cash last night. You were all over the L.A. Lakers. Congratulations. What do you got going on heading into the weekend over at WagerTalk?
I appreciate the kudos. I'm still shocked that the Lakers went off as dogs last night. My number had LA favored by 4 in the game. And when I see that type of discrepancy, I'm likely to load up with a 5% big ticket selection. For tonight and this weekend, I've got a single NBA best bet up for tonight, as well as one in college hoops. And on Sunday, I'll put my 80% NFL playoff run on the line with a 5% big ticket winner as the Bucks take on the Packers.
Love it. Yeah, loaded weekend here. And Ski, my friend, how did you do last night? We went back and forth. I know you were looking at that Lakers game. You broke it down. You were right at the Lakers. I believe you were right on the under as well. So how was your night? What do you got going on heading into the
Yeah, 2 in one day. You named the 2 winners. You see, that's why I'm wearing the Laker gear. And the one loser was the Knicks under. They decided to score 70 points or so in the first quarter and 60 points in the fourth quarter. So that killed the under, but it was a profitable day. And if you're a subscriber, you got 2 winners this morning on EuroLeague basketball. So I have 4 plays out. I sent it to subscribers today and hope to keep it going.
All right, let's keep it going then. Let's take a look at Stevie. That's 2, what is it, Merrill? 2 R's and 1 L. Stevie Merrill joining us back again. Steve, how's your week been, man? How's NBA going since the last time we spoke, and what do you got heading into the weekend?
Yeah, it's been a choppy week. 25-9 on the college basketball season, yet I missed the one college game the other night. And NBA last night, the last couple of nights, missed a couple NBA games, and still on a 34-16 sides run in the NBA with that said. So bad news is I've been down a couple games this week. The good news is still hitting almost 70% on the season in basketball. So I think we bounce back strong tonight. I've got a false favorite alert. An underdog I think can win the game outright. And that's at WagerTalk.com right now. That 34-16 NBA sides run continues with an outright underdog winner. And also 3 NFL playoff best bets for Sunday ready as well. WagerTalk.com.
All right, let's do this here, fellas. Just want to remind you guys a couple of great things happening at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, including the ability over at SportsMemo to get guys like Teddy and everyone else. They have 3 days all access for $99. And let us not forget, you can get Steve Merrill, you can get Ski, you can build your own team right now of NBA royalty for up to 30 days. Get every play they post for 30 days. What a deal this is. Up to 55% off on that package right now. Build your team at WagerTalk.com. Gentlemen, you know what this means. Time for our contrarian play of the day as we take a look. Now, yesterday, only 3 games on the slate, so we didn't have one. But heading in, obviously, here to today, 10-1 with this game, including the 76ers defying the odds, even though they were a home favorite. A lot of money, a lot of tickets came towards Boston in that game. Philly covers, wins that game. Tonight, this was interesting because this started early on. It wasn't hard to figure out certainly where the money was heading as it opened up at 10.5 points. That being, of course, the Brooklyn Nets and the Cleveland Cavs. Now, we have learned, of course, Kevin Durant is not playing in this one, but even before that broke, the money and the tickets were pouring in on the Cleveland Cavaliers here now, who I'm seeing 6.5. There's still a couple of 7s as well. So let's go around the horn. And Teddy, let me start with you, my friend. A, do you agree with the move? And B, I don't know. Do you trust Cleveland this much in this spot?
So one thing that we're not going to do, we being me, I'm not betting against this. All right, we talked about it. Even I was on the show on Wednesday when I was talking about that. I lean Boston. You know, the lean is absolutely to Boston. Am I pulling the trigger? No, because I'm not stepping in front of it. So do we think, and it's meaningful. Look at last night's NBA betting marketplace. The money came wrong side for all 3 games. All right, the money, literally, the money came for the Warriors against the Knicks. The money came for Milwaukee against the Lakers. The money came for the Pelicans against the Jazz. And the money was wrong. All right. So I have little hesitation betting against the money, which is pouring in on Cleveland today. Now we have the Nets in a revenge spot. I know they don't have James Harden. Okay. I know Cleveland's gotten better. Okay. But I also know that these short turnaround revenge games, you want the good team, not the bad team. Brooklyn are past for this better. I'm happy to bet against this line move.
A lot of truth in that, Teddy. Sometimes if it walks like a duck and talks like it's a duck here. Steve, where are you going, my friend? Do you trust the line move? Do you agree with it? Or are you going, hell no. You got to go Brooklyn in this.
Yeah, Brooklyn's the only way I can look. As long as they have 2 of the 3 superstars, I'm fine with that. And especially they just lost to this team. I think that they'll take that personal, and I think they'll come out and play better today. So at 7.5, I think you said, or 6.5?
6.5, yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, the number I have for the Nets is 7.5. So I'll be comfortable laying it with the Nets.
All right, man. Go away from where everyone else is going. Always count on you, Ski, to go contrarian with us over here. All right, Stevie Merrill, you going to go Switzerland here, or are you going to you actually going to pick a damn side here? Where you going, Merrill?
Yeah, I mean, if possible, I'd like to do Switzerland. I will not be involved in this game, but since we're on a live TV show, I guess I got to give something out. I'll look at the total briefly since we haven't talked too much about it. I mean, a couple of things really jump out at me. First of all, Cleveland was on a 10-game under streak until this week. They went over against the Knicks, and then, of course, that game had 282 points scored on Wednesday night against Brooklyn, but they'd gone under 10 straight, now 2 straight overs. But look at the Nets, 10 straight overs entering tonight. So, I mean, some amazing over-under runs that are kind of flying under the radar a little bit. Which one gives? I think the over probably worth a look. Harden is always all offense, very little defense in the regular season, in my opinion. So I think that makes some sense here. As Teddy said, you kind of look to go the opposite way with these quick revenge situations. So that kept me off the over just due to the fact that it's about 7 points higher than that line just 2 nights ago. But I would agree probably with Ski if I had to play this. I'd rather have the better team off a bad loss, and that's Brooklyn, even a little bit shorthanded. They lost that game outright as an 11-point favorite on Wednesday night. So that catches my eye. I think they're the safer play. And overall, Cleveland at 7-7 this season. They're due to regress at some point. They're not going to be a winning team when all is said and done.
Rue marketplace going all the money. Nets minus 6.5 right now. I doubt it'll go any further. I doubt we'll see 6 or maybe 5.5. Maybe we will. But at this point, contrarian player today is backing Brooklyn. Don't be scared off because Kevin Durant is not in. So says he. All right, guys, let's take a look at some of our featured matchups. Game number 1 here tonight. This is going to be fun. Dallas taking on San Antonio, traveling to San Antonio for this one. Opens up at a 2.5-point Dallas favorite on the road. Total opened up at 224.5. I'm seeing 223.5 here. I'm also seeing Dallas getting some money and some tickets down to 2. So, Ski, let me start with you, my man. Spurs at home as a dog. Do you like them? Do you trust them, or no?
Mavs still missing a lot of key players. They're mixing. I'm not gonna name them all, but they're missing a few key players. And the Spurs, they just have been playing better than Dallas lately, offensively, defensively, even on the board. So the only way I can look, I think the wrong team is favored in this one for tonight. I mean, I'm not saying they're a better team overall, but I like San Antonio tonight. I think they'll win. They've been playing good versus competition. They're 6-3 versus 55% win teams or more. So that's the way I would look. And if I have to play the total, both teams have been playing a little faster than I would like in this one, but I would trust both defenses more than the offenses the way that they've looked. So I would still lean under. The number I had for this game was 218.5, and it looks like a pretty solid edge there.
All right, there you go, Steve. Let me ask you here. Dallas on the road as a favorite against the team, like Steve said, is in a little better form. Who do you trust in this matchup?
Yeah, I actually had a play in the over Wednesday in the Spurs game against Golden State. A lot of that had to do with Golden State. I thought could push it over. It fell a little bit short. And then, of course, I don't use the over last night with the Warriors, and they soared over with the Knicks. And I do think it's a good bounce back spot, though, for the Spurs off that loss, like Ski said on Wednesday night. They lost that game by 22 at Golden State. They return home, have a day to kind of get everything back on track. The offense has been the problem. They only shot 37% Wednesday night. They shot 40% a couple games before against Houston, but actually won that game. I do think we're going to get some value with the over here with the Spurs in the near future. They've gone under now in 5 of their last 6. And you look at the Mavericks, they've gone under 5 of their last 6 as well. But this total is pretty high still. So that kept me off the total here. But I think San Antonio's a live dog in this one. Looks like a decent bounce back spot. Also could see maybe the Mavericks overlooking them a bit, especially with a home game on deck tomorrow against Houston with no rest.
Dallas has been streaky, to say the least there, Teddy. Do you trust them in this spot on the road, this Texas triangle we got going on?
So it's not a game I expect to play. And given the current point spread range, I'm not close to playing. It's not even a game where I have a strong lean. I will say this. When you look at this series history, it's not a series you want to be laying points with. You know, all of the last 10 meetings have been decided by 10 or less. No blowouts in the bunch. The majority decided by 6 points or less during that span. The Dogs 7-3 in the series. These in-state rivalry games, you know, there's something to be said for looking at the underdog. And certainly San Antonio coming off a bad performance, returning home, it feels perhaps Spurs spot. All that said, Dallas is the better of these two teams. And Dallas with Luka and Porzingis, I know they're missing 4 key bodies. They've been missing them for the better part of the last 2 weeks. The rotation's much more stable now for Rick Carlisle than they were a week or 2 ago, for sure. And that showed in the fourth quarter against Indiana earlier in the week when they rallied to beat the Pacers and pretty much dominated that game down the stretch. Wouldn't be surprised they're capable of doing that here. So I guess I have the slightest of leans to Dallas, but again, I'm not getting the window with this one.
Looks like no Dwight Powell, no Josh Richardson still in the COVID protocol, but the two teams get together. It's usually a battle. And this next game, too, guys, tonight, it's going to be real interesting, too, as we take a look at the New York Knicks on the road taking on the Sacramento Kings. One of these teams is going to play defense, I think, and one is not. 3.5 points is what the line opened up at. We're looking at 218 as an opening total. So, Steve, let me throw it to you first here. Knicks getting better and better. It seems like every time we see them here. Sacramento, no defense. What do you think? Who do you like in this matchup here tonight?
Yeah, you know, I talked about it Monday. A team I thought would eventually fade this season is the Knicks, but I'm not going to try to guess when that is. And look what they've done recently here. They've won 3 straight outright as an underdog their last 3 games. And once again, not a question how they're getting it done. It's defense. They held them to 30, 34, and 38% shooting those 3 underdog wins. So it's not a good setup here now against a weaker Sacramento team. I could definitely see the Knicks having a little bit of a letdown here tonight. Wouldn't thought we'd be talking about the Knicks having a letdown a month into the season, but at 8-8, you know, they're a legitimate team right now. But as I said, they're getting it done with defense. I actually think the over could be worth a look here. If they come in a little bit flat, which I think they might, I think that let up could be on the defensive side of the ball. They can't play much better than they have the last 3 games. And as I mentioned Monday, When I will look to fade the Knicks eventually this season is when they're probably officially out of the playoff race in a couple months, which I think will happen. Will they still have that hard-nosed defensive intensity, with 65, 70 games under their belt? I think tonight could be one of those games where they don't have that intensity. And as we all agree, it's not hard to get behind a Sacramento over this season. They never play any defense. I think the Knicks might be willing to run with them tonight. Over would be the way I'd play this one. Not a game I'm going to be involved with, but I'd probably lean over if I was.
Danny, the market's pushing towards Sacramento. I'm seeing 4s across the board here from 3.5. Do you trust the Knicks in this spot on the road? You going defense or you going offense?
So let me start with this. I've heard Merrill disparage the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks as being hopeless.
Woo!
All right. I think they're both playoff teams. Certainly
Wow.
The Cavs are a playoff team. And the Knicks, I expect them to be in the mix for the playoffs when we get to when's the season end? It doesn't end in April this year, maybe May. When you look at the teams that aren't in the playoffs in the East right now, it would be Orlando, Miami, Charlotte, Chicago, Toronto, Washington, Detroit. The only one of those teams that I'm like, yes, they will make the playoffs is Miami. So you say, I know Philly's getting there, Boston's getting there, Milwaukee, Indiana, Brooklyn. Those 5 are in. You say, out of the Knicks, Cavs, Hawks, Heat, 3 of those 4 are going to get in. I don't think Orlando's going to be there. I don't think Toronto's going to be there when all's said and done. All right, enough with me ranting against Merrill because this game's really easy. You want to lay points with Sacramento? Knock yourself out. Have a good time. Okay? You don't lay points with teams like Sacramento. You just don't do it. They started the season 3-1. They had one cover as a favorite during that 3-1 start. What have they won? One game since? I think they've won twice since that time.
Yep.
They haven't covered as a favorite since that time. They haven't been winning at home. There's no home court advantage in Sacramento. It's pretty clear the team doesn't like each other. You read the reports out of Sacramento, and this is not one of those locker rooms that feels good game in, game out. The Knicks are playing good ball. Ride the hot, fade the cold. Knicks plus the points.
I love it. So I've got to ask you then, Ski, be the determining fact. Is this a hell no? I ain't betting on the damn. I'm not betting on the damn Sacramento at home laying 4 points in this matchup. So where are you going here, man? You back at the Knicks, or are you going to go with the home team?
Teddy said it best, I think. You don't want to be laying those points with Sacramento. So they're 1-3, I think, is a favorite or whatever the stats were. Just because New York is on a back-to-back, I think that's the only reason they're a favorite. And New York covered their only game on the second of a back-to-back. And, I was looking at teams. Also, New York's been playing a lot better. As Steve mentioned, they've been winning games. But I was looking at teams that played a game on the road and they had to play another game on the road with no rest this year. It's 9-4 against the spread and 9-4 to the under. And I could definitely see that in this game. So that's the way that I'll lean.
All right, he's leaning that way there. Merrill, little gang up going on there. I love it. Serves you right. Showing up here once and crashing the Knicks in Cleveland. How dare you? Overtime here, guys. Let's take a look here at what game seems to be, from a total perspective, seem to be steamed up, and it looked like Toronto and Miami early on, where a 2.5, almost 3-point total increase there at 220. I saw coming up. Let me see where are we at right now. 222.5 from 220. So let's talk about this Heat team, Teddy, taking on the. I think it's the second game now of this series. The Raptors in Tampa taking on the Heat. And a lot of money towards that total here. You think we're going to see a lot of points in this?
I don't have a strong take on this total. I will say that we're certainly seeing a marketplace adjustment for Toronto. This is a team was being lined in the 230s when they went out west just, 10 days ago. And now we're seeing numbers that are significantly lower. When these teams met, obviously early in the week, stayed under 222, and it wasn't necessarily a pace issue. Was an offensive efficiency issue. I'm not convinced that changes tonight. So I guess slightest of leans towards the under for me in this one. I would fade this particular line move.
All right, man. Not agreeing with the move there. And Ski, how about you, man? 220 to 222.5, even to 223 right now out there. You trust these two teams to get it rolling from an offensive standpoint?
Well, I don't trust either team to really play defense. And the number I have for this game is 222.5. So I have the slightest lean towards the over.
You're a little lean in there towards the over in this one. And Merrill, go ahead, my man. Where are you rolling with this one? Over, under? Who do you like?
Yeah, over would be the way I'd play it as well. I agree with the move. Offense has not been the problem for these teams. You look at Miami, as Teddy said, they're out of the playoff mix technically right now. We both agree they will be in the playoffs, even though they're just 6-7. But they're averaging 110 points a game this year. They've scored basically 100 plus in like 7 straight now, but they've given up 100 plus in those 7 straight games as well. And they're actually on I believe it's a 5-1 overrun the last 6, even though they went under that last game against Toronto. This is another one of those quick revenge situations. As I mentioned earlier, I like to kind of go the opposite way whenever possible. And the fact that game stayed under, I think, gives me a reason to play the over here. Both teams like to play fast still, and I don't see that changing. Toronto's having a miserable season, but they have now won 3 of their last 4. It'll be interesting to see if they are one of those teams that makes the playoff, because if Cleveland and New York don't make it, that means Toronto probably does. And I'm not going to write the Raptors off quite yet. I never try to catch a falling knife. I've stayed away from Toronto, but maybe this recent week's been the buy signal with them. They're coming off a loss in that game. I'd probably lean Toronto, and I'd lean over as well for that reason.
I believe Tyler Hero back here. I think Lowry's back in this game too as well, so that might have something to do with it. We're anticipating a little bit more scoring than what we saw last time out here. But let's get to our buzzer beaters here, guys, on this Friday. And a quick reminder, of course, WagerTalk.com, Steve Merrill, and Ski Profit, and heck, even Teddy Covers. You'll be able to get all 3 of them right now. Put your own team together at WagerTalk. 2 or 3 handicappers of your choice, 30 days, all access. Save 55% on that combination. It's a great opportunity. Put your team together now at WagerTalk.com. So you guys know how it works. We throw 60 seconds on the clock. We give these guys the opportunity. Do it the 60 seconds that you may, but we are buzzing and shutting you down if you don't get that best bet out. So heaven forbid there, Teddy. We're starting with you, man. I know you got this. He's going to dance around, guys, and then he's going to dunk on your ass when you least expect it. Right at that 2 to 1 second mark, he's coming. So, Teddy, buzzer beater, best bet, my friend. 60 seconds. What do you got?
Yeah, you know me. When I get the buzzer beater, I got to start talking about something else first. And it's worth noting, Miami, Toronto, there's concerns about Pascal Siakam's availability this evening. And at least some of the money that came on the over, I believe, was the market saying they expect Siakam to play tonight for the Raptors. Let's talk about Atlanta and Minnesota, a game that is most assuredly going to go under the radar on a busy NBA card for Friday night. But it's a T-Wolves team that I have the ultimate interest in betting against right now. They are, in my power ratings, the worst team in the NBA without Karl Anthony Towns. They only won 1 game without him. 7 of their last 10 losses have come by double digits. And Atlanta was staring into the abyss, down 14, less than 5 to play, rallied back to win the game. The quotes afterwards were nothing but bet on. I think the Hawks might offer some value this evening. -6 Atlanta. That's the best bet Friday night.
Let's Merrill, you want to go to the videotape? Was it good?
Yeah, he'd already released the ball. His follow-through took an extra second or 2, but we're going to count it, even though it was a very long, extended follow-through. But that's how Teddy shoots. That's his style.
That's exactly it. It's a Hail Mary most of the time. He had trouble with Siakam, and that was the end of that. So, all right, Steve, let's go, man. Come on, show Teddy how it's done. You got it. 60 seconds on the clock. Buzzer beater, brother. Where are you going tonight? Best bet?
I don't have a style. I guess it's always maybe a little different for me, I'd hope. Or at least I think so. I like Teddy's style, though. And I agree with Teddy that there's another team that I don't want to be laying points with. And that's going to be the Charlotte Hornets.
Ooh.
They're 1-3 as a favorite against the spread. And Chicago Bulls have been playing really good lately. In the road, dog roll, they've only failed to cover 1 game. And I just think I want the points on my side. I think they can win this game outright. They've been better offensively. They've been a way better rebounding team over the last 5 games. The only thing that they could lose this game is they haven't been that great on the defensive end. But I just think whoever is catching the points in this one is a great one. So 7-1 against the spread, their last 8 as a road dog. I'll take the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, with time on the clock, man. He didn't even offer to rip Merrill, too, with his remaining 10 seconds. He just, give me the points. I am good to go. So that leaves you, Merrill. Let's go. 2 R's and 1 L. Do not screw this up, man. Teddy and Ski already showing you up here. So give him 60 seconds. Come on, brother. Your buzzer beater. What is it? Best bet.
Yeah, it's hard to top the freeze and froze frame, whatever you want to call it, from a week ago. I'm not going to try. You know, Eddie and Ski are too polite. They never really go at it, so I can't really rip them as well. I miss Tony Finn. I miss Rob Vino. I mean, Tony Mejia, they go at it with me. And then Ralph Michaels was vicious the one time you let him on this show. I'm not sure what he was doing on an NBA show. But anyway, 40 seconds is about when I like to start to dribble, so we'll go now. And I'm going to look at the under in the Orlando-Indiana game. We didn't talk about this game. Pacers Magic under 217.5. You know, we talk about the Knicks maybe playing defense, maybe not playing. I don't know. I'm not involved. I don't really care. But this is a game which I think we have some certainty, and that's that the Orlando Magic are the worst shooting team in the league. You can't just fix bad shooting when you want to. Indiana Pacers' biggest problem this year has been a terrible three-point defense. I don't think Orlando can exploit that. They shoot less than 32% from beyond the arc. Look at their last 2 games, guys. 175 and 193 total. We get plenty of wiggle room with Pacers and Magic, 2 not good shooting teams, under 217.5 tonight on Friday.
That was sweetness. That had a little Bernard King in it, man. That was really very well. You mentioned the Knicks, so I just figured very nice there, guys. Do not forget though, opportunities galore right now at WagerTalk and Sportsmemo.com. Take advantage of them tonight and this weekend. Put your best team together. You just saw these 3 guys dribble and shoot. Heaven forbid, but you can put them all together at the same team. Save up to 55% for 30 days. All access right now. 2 or 3 handicappers. Every play, all access, 30 days right now. Here's your recap, guys. Ski's going Bulls. Give me the points. He's all over it. Merrill likes the under in the Pacers and the Orlando Magic. And Teddy said a lot, but the thing that I pulled out there was Hawks laying a 6, man, when he wasn't making fun of Steve Merrill. So there it is, guys, your best bets here on the NBA Tip-Off Show on this Friday edition. Don't forget, hit the bell in the upper right-hand corner. Hit subscribe, no matter where you may be, whether it be Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, YouTube. We appreciate your time, guys. We'll be back again Monday, breaking down next week's NBA action. On behalf of Teddy, Ski, and Steve Merrill, that's 2 R's and 1 L. I'm Joe Ranieri. Guys, best of luck with your plays. We'll talk to you again on Monday. Good luck, guys.
Lock in 30 days of Hakeem Profit's NBA plays, including 5% best bets for just $4.30 per day. A 30-day NBA pass is priced at $189, but you can lock in Hakeem's for only $129. Act fast, as the price is going back to $189 at the end of the week.